I met a gypsy.
But it's interesting, we did a cost comparison. What is the cost of ownership with a Stark versus a 4-stroke 450 or a 2-stroke 250? And which is the most expensive bike to own?
The 2-stroke.
Yeah. And this is just reading the owner's manual, like recommended service. So like no assumptions, like taking the owner's manual, when should we change this? Okay, what is the price? So like just facts. There's no bike that is more expensive to own than the 2-stroke. So like that whole argument that the 4-strokes made it more expensive, like no, it's just not true.
And is that taken into consideration the recommended retail price?
Yeah.
So all the factors are that you buy the bike and you own it for a year or 2 years, and as per the owner's manual, the 2-stroke is the most expensive motorcycle.
Yes, yeah. I think actually if we go to Stark's website, we might have it there. We can check it out. If we go to the Varg EX product page, we can go down, scroll down a bit more.
Stop making bikes I need in my garage.
A bit more. Go down, please. Range, go down a bit more. Let's see. We're looking for one more graph like that. Here we go. Okay, shit. So we only have gas in general. Okay. So we have one internally with like several bikes.
Yeah.
And the 2-stroke is, by far the most expensive because you have to change pistons and stuff quite often. And then the 4-stroke is, of course, like much more expensive to own than the Varg. This is like over 100 hours of use. So the 4-stroke is $6,300 in repairs, and the Stark is $600. So like even if we are a little bit more expensive to buy, like it's the cheapest bike to own. Sorry, now this really became a commercial here. That was not really my point.
I'm just in the head the comments of like, you're such a shill, you're a corporate shill. I'm used to it.
Sorry, but okay, here we are.
No, it's a fact. Like
it's a fact.
You've done the research.
Yeah, this is owner's manual and recommended retail price. So for 2-stroke, the most expensive. 4-stroke, the second most expensive. Of course, like an electric bike, like of course it's cheaper because like there is not so much maintenance, So I think but the comments you see with 2-strokes, like where, like because there are so many comments, but where are those riders? Because if you go to the track, there are no one riding those 2-strokes. So if you love them so much, why aren't you riding it?
It's so true, dude. It's so true. And I mean, I have my YZ that I did my build of. That bike is fucking beautiful. I love that motorcycle. Yeah. I will probably never ride it again. The day that I rode it, I rode it one time. Loved it. The sound, the feeling.
Yeah.
Not riding it again.
Yeah. But I think what the 4-strokes did though, that was bad for the industry, is the noise.
For sure.
Yeah. So 2-stroke noise doesn't travel as far. There's something with the 4-stroke, like that fucking sound travels miles.
Yeah, well that's just science.
Yeah.
Like the frequency that the sound is emitted at.
Yeah.
It just travels and travels. And those waves can travel through a lot more shit.
For sure, yeah. So that was for sure bad. Like many tracks have been shut down because of 4-strokes. And if people would be riding 2-strokes, less tracks would have been shut down. Mm-hmm. Because noise is really the issue.
But then you've got the emission side, which I don't necessarily agree with. Like I just don't think burning oil in 2-strokes at Glen Helen on the weekend is like a huge contributing factor, or at least a factor that can't be offset in other ways with like that's where I would love like AMA to step in. It's like, okay, you pay us the license, we'll offset the cost of, whatever emissions that you are emitting by riding a 2-stroke or whatever. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Like it's just noise has been the biggest issue.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, of course the emissions are like, it's toxic to breathe those fumes, especially a 2-stroke, it's not good, but you don't do it so much. If you do that 1 hour a week, like that's not going to kill you,
No. And it's not going to kill the environment if
sure.
you offset it in other ways.
No, absolutely. And like it's such a small part, of course, like everything matters. Like if you look at, there are millions of dirt bike riders around the world that burn millions of it has an impact. But if you compare that to everything else, like there are things that matter much more, of course. And then
even like it's like almost a shitty argument to take, right? But it's like, let's regulate the fuck out of America.
Yeah.
China just does whatever it wants. So what? Like, let's kill all of our productivity.
Yeah.
Let's kill our economic growth. Let's kill our innovation
Yeah.
for our own sake,
Yeah.
and let China just do whatever the fuck they want. So it's like we're playing a very strange game. To me, the magic wand solution is, why don't we build something that just sucks a whole lot of carbon out of the air. You know, it has to be like a technological solution
It's called
that
plants.
fixes this problem, not a regulation problem.
But I mean, that's plants. I mean, and actually, I mean, China, there's a lot of things that China do bad, but I mean, no one is doing more for sustainability than China.
Really?
You know, like, where's all the solar coming from? China, like 99%. All the batteries, China. Who is investing more in clean energy, so hydro and nuclear, than anyone else? China. Who has built the most forest over the last 50 years? China. So like, they also built a lot of coal plants, more than anyone actually, but they have, you know, but if you look at the total picture, they have built more green energy than anyone else. So, you know, like, they need more energy, and they can't scale green energy faster than what they're doing. Like, it's crazy how fast they're scaling it already.
Really?
But then, of course, but I think the coal plants is, like, of course they're gonna, like, burning coal is fucking dirty. Like, no one needs to burn coal.
Literally.
Come
It's
on.
just yeah.
So that has to go away.
1,000-year-old technology.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the solution is not to penalize people and say, like, no, you cannot do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not the right world to live in. Like, who wants that? That's not a nice, maybe a bit like Europe and California. Like, you can no longer do things because there are so many regulations. Like, it's almost impossible to even start a business in some places, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just bad for everything. And I think it's better to kind of make it easier to do good. Like, okay, here's the bad.
The incentives should be aligned towards doing the right thing.
Right? I think so. Yeah, it would be. And it's a bit like, maybe motocross tracks are now starting to do that. Like, we see more and more tracks that have, okay, these are the opening hours for a gas bike, and that's 5 hours on Tuesday, 5 hours on Sunday. Okay, so you have 10 hours per week when you can ride, or you can ride electric 7 days a week whenever you want. So I think for me that's, and the limitations of hours for gas is not because someone wants to be mean, it's because there are houses in the area that, like, they are disturbed. Like, even us as dirt bike riders, you know, if we want to have dinner outside in the evening, we would also be disturbed if there's a loud 4-stroke a few hundred meters.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.